Hello, how are you?
Doing alright.
It was Brandon, correct?
Yes. It's what was emailed or given to you guys online.
Okay. Perfect. Okay, Brandon, so I can go ahead and start off by telling you a little bit about myself, and then you can tell me a little bit about you, okay?
Okay.
So my name is Julia, and I'm currently the area supervisor for the 101 here. So I do oversee 9 locations from San Rafael all the way through to Ukiah, and I've been working for Panda now for a total of 12 years. So that is a little bit about, me, and that's a little bit about, the time that I've been with Panda. So how about you tell me about yourself?
Basically, when I was a kid, worked food industry and stuff, but we didn't have the food analyst card and stuff like that. So worked for my dad's restaurant. Also worked at a Little Caesars. I worked at a Hardee's. I guess Hardee's kind of reminds me most of the similar environment, Panda, because you'll have all the little dishes in a row just like that and stuff before you're making your burgers and stuff like that. After that, joined the military. Military, for lack of better terms, is the only thing I found in society that provides food and shelter. Can't really say much else for corporations outside of that. Other than that, just been continuously looking for jobs, trying to work, and went in debt trying to pay for phone bills, and then can't even afford to pay the debt because every job wants you to have a phone number. The phone number that is listed on here does not receive verification text, so if you guys do verification text or anything like that, it doesn't receive them. It's only, I guess, for something else. I mean, you can still text and call, you just can't receive verification text, however they design that. And like I said, it's just through an application. I don't know if the application is going to say your number's been reassigned and you have to get a new one or whatever, anything like that. It just uses TCP/IP protocol over the internet. When I was looking, it said, didn't quite understand. It said a 1021 Mendocino? Mm-hmm. Is that considered this place?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, because the other address that was given me was the what was it? The other address that was given to me was the 2240 Mendocino. So that's why I was curious.
Okay.
See the location there? Says Suite 106. I didn't know which address was accurate. I was trying to look up the 1021. I didn't see that anywhere.
Well, no, 1021 is the location.
Okay.
It's like the Panda Express store number and like location.
Okay.
That's what like this location out of all the Panda Expresses is like location 1021.
Okay.
Yeah, but that should be the actual address.
All right. I wasn't just curious. I tried looking up 1021. It didn't.
Yeah, so sorry for. Yeah, so that one is actually saying that like the applications that you submit. So if it's like the kitchen team, it'll be like the kitchen team for this location. It'll be the service team for this location.
Okay.
And then you can of course submit other applications to do service team at other locations. So it like really specifies it to like what it is that you're like applying for and with, and then depending on how many stores you go about it. So usually the key word or like the key code is going to be the store number. So this location itself is store 1021.
Okay. And I saw the Roanoke Park is having something I think come up on the 17th.
Yeah. So I think that with all of that too, like I said, it depends on how many applications you submit to, and then depending on each store's like event, then you may get different notifications for that, and then we also follow up from that.
Okay.
Yeah. So so going back to a little bit of your experience, So you mentioned that you used to work. I've actually personally never been. You said Hardee's.
So Hardee's is the same thing as California's Carl's Jr. Familiar with Carl's Jr.?
Okay. Yeah, I personally have never, but I have been to Carl's Jr. So so how long did you work there for?
Hardee's. Say it's Little Caesars. I would have worked for. Little Caesars was up until I'd gone into the military service, and that was about. I guess Hardee's was somewhere between 6 to 8 months.
Okay.
Because I worked at Hardee's before I went to Little Caesars. and Little Caesars mean they don't have. I mean, it's how they have the little metal dishes or whatever. You put them in either the cooler or the hot boxes and stuff like that. So that way, before you actually prep any of the food and stuff like that. Then that's basically before and after. Little Caesars has similar stuff for their toppings. Pretty much all their toppings that go onto the actual pizzas. It's all a cold bar, so they don't have a hot bar. The hot bar for Hardee's, they normally try to make streamline or run any of the burgers fresh, from frozen to fresh. Same for their actual buns going through the conveyor belt on the oven. But other than that, it's just, I guess, mostly a cold bar instead of a hot bar.
Okay. So then you said that the 6 to 8 months was at Little Caesars.
6 to 8 months was at Hardee's.
What about Little Caesars?
Little Caesars is about probably 3 years.
3 years, okay. So in the time that you were at Little Caesars, what was one? So by the time you started to the time that you left, what was the position that you had? Did you have an opportunity to move up, or did you have the same position when you started up until you left?
I guess it was kind of the same position, okay, just different responsibilities.
Okay.
I'd say for easier, there wasn't really a way to move up because this position stayed filled during that time.
Yeah. And I think a lot of times that's how a lot of the like franchisees sometimes have those limitations and growth. So I know that a lot of times people have to wait until the person probably leaves or ends up going in a different direction.
But since the position stayed filled, I guess you could say trust was earned, that being able to say yes, he's responsible, he shows up on work on time, he can start to open close, he can cook, he can start writing orders, doing the inventory and stuff for the cashiers. So that's what I said, for lack of better terms, the position stayed the same, but the responsibilities changed.
Okay, got it. And so what was the biggest challenge that you faced in the time that you were working at Little Caesars?
Wouldn't say as much of a challenge. Staff was pretty laid back or whatnot. I guess the real thing that mattered to the managers is people being able to be on time or something, so that they're not short-staffed during rush hours, busy hours, or say prep time. Because prep time, we'd normally spend, we'd come in about 10 a.m., start prepping, check the actual sheets. So normally by 10:15, they already have us start prepping some of the dough. Some of the dough would go up till about 1, so I guess probably about 3 hours they would have us prep the dough, or we would actually mix the flour in with the flour, yeast, the oil, and the water. Mix it and prep up all the dough, get it actually cut to the actual right size, and wait and put it in an actual freezer for the next day.
Okay, got it. And so then, so for the most part, what I hear is that it was pretty manageable, right, in terms of the responsibilities that you had in that role. And so then, walking away, right, from that, position and from some of your fast food experience, right, what do you see is still one thing that you can elevate about yourself, right, to be an overall, better, team member and associate?
Just figure out whatever needs to be done, and if you guys need more help, then to do the tasks that are put beforehand, for lack of better terms.
Got it. And so then, in terms of Panda, right, well, why do you seek employment with Panda? Well, what are you looking to get out of the experience if you were to get hired?
I've just been looking for a job anywhere for almost the past 4 years so that I can buy food. I don't quite understand what people's ideology is. Capitalism doesn't function if people can't buy food. Food doesn't get produced if there's not a job or somebody there producing it. And holding people back from doing any sort of work, I don't quite understand why any corporation does this. Whether it's big ag, farm, the wineries, or I don't understand why they stipulate, no, you can't work, you can't buy food, you can't do anything, your only alternative is to stay on the street and starve.
Well, I am very right about that, and at the same time. So, any other questions that you may have for me? Okay. Then today we are hosting like our interview event, right? So typically we're pretty pumped after today and gathering our feedback, right, and coming to our conclusion in terms of who we will move forward with and who will we will not be. And usually that communication is going to be through email, right? So just best of luck, and if there's anything that we choose to let you know, you will hear from us probably within like no more than 2 to 3 days.
Okay, no worries.
Okay, thank you so much. Okay, take care.
Thank you.